Hello everyone, welcome to a new video for Bitcoin price prediction based on Elliott wave analysis. Starting on the daily chart, we have of course our bear market right now. After finishing this bull run 1, 2, 3, 4 and a 5 impulse toward the upside, finishing a wave 1 with it, and we're looking of course for a 3 corrective waves as a bear market to finish of course a wave 2, and in this after this of course looking for a wave 3 toward the upside. Your wave 3 is of course an impulsive wave that it's gonna be very impulsive and explosive once we finish of course this wave 2. However, this wave 2 needs at least a minimum requirement time, which is 0.38 taken from this wave 1, and of course this is gonna be around the 25 November 2025, which is the minimum requirement time. Therefore, we cannot expect really high or new all-time high before the November 2025, and looking for a finished structure as a corrective wave A, B, and a C. Now, if we dive a little bit in the possibilities of this corrective wave, of course, it can be much more than just an ABC. It can be, of course, other different pattern like WXY or like a triangle. So we're gonna dive a little bit with the possibilities on the 2 hours chart. So starting with the most possible scenario here, which is a triangle. After finishing a 3 waves toward the downside for a wave A, you're looking for a triangle for your wave B as an A, B, C, D, and an E. Now this triangle can be finished of course as A, B, C, D, and an E here. However, the triangles always expand in time, and as you can see, we did not took the high, we took only the 886 fib level, meaning we're looking of course for a wave C here toward the downside after having an A, B, and a C for a wave D, and potentially of course another wave E toward the upside to finish of course a wave B. And that because of course the wave B needs even a longer time to finish, since we did not reach the 1-to-1 fib time as well, taken of course from this wave A, and giving us of course a wave B around the 1-to-1 fib time would be a perfect scenario. And in this case, we are looking, of course, for a longer triangle in a wave D, and then looking for wave E. Once finished, we can start to seek, of course, after an impulse toward the downside for a wave C, which it can reach, of course, the 64K. Another scenario which is in confluence as well with a triangle, but only of course if we take the high here for this triangle, meaning if you are in a triangle A, B, C, D, E, once you take the high here, your triangle is invalidated. However, this can create a different scenario here, which it can turn into WX and a Y, where you have 3 waves for your W. You get of course after it a zigzag for the X, and you might get of course a zigzag for example for the Y, or even it can be a triangle. But if you take the high here, it can simply turn into a WXY, taking the 0.5 fib level as well in confluence inside this blue box, and start to seek of course for lower prices. Don't forget a WXY as well, it has no like very precise ranges. It is a wide range, so you have to be careful. Your wave Y might be even overshooting a little bit for the 0.618 and then moving toward the downside. This is the second, of course, a possible scenario in this case, and only if we take the high, of course, here by breaking this triangle. Another possible scenario is the WXY, X, and a Z, where you have W, X, Y, and you're looking at a finished X, and currently we're looking to finish a wave Z. With this scenario, of course, you have finished therefore potentially a wave A here with a longer time even, and then of course start to unfold a wave B toward the upside, which it can be of course a bullish trend but not a bullish scenario, meaning it's very rare that we're gonna take of course the all-time high and creating a new one, meaning simply you have finished one leg of course for this big market, bear market, and you're moving straight forward for a wave B, and of course after this you would like to see a wave C toward the downside. Don't forget that it can be a W, X, and a Y as well, rather than just an A, B, and a C. This is the third possible scenario currently on the chart. We cannot say that we are moving toward the downside right now for a wave C, because of course if you have a wave C as an impulse right now unfolding as a 1-2, your wave 2 took the 886, and this is a very rare case scenario to unfold, of course, a big impulse starting with a wave 2 from the 886 fib level to reach around the 1-to-1 fib level 62. So basically this scenario is of course now less possibility just because of this price action taking the 886 here, meaning we're gonna range much more in time and potentially taking the high with the WXY as mentioned as second possibility, and then moving of course impulsively toward the downside. If we take a look at KGT, we can see on KGT a 15-minute chart we have bearish signals with pressure as convergence with this triangle. We have also bullish signals which are not a very divergence, meaning the pressure of the selling is still much stronger on this chart, and we are still looking for lower prices of course, and potentially we might go a little bit higher of course, only to break a little bit the CVD line and then start to move very massively toward the downside. So don't forget that we are in a short bear market, and of course whatever is gonna happen in this area here is gonna still of course reverse toward the downside around the 62-64k as well for a wave C soon or later. That was it for Bitcoin. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your likes and comments, and see you in the next one. Bye bye.